I gotta give it to Ikemoto right now. He is killing it with the artwork and writing in his recent chapter 24 Boruto TBV Vortex. And before we dive into this chapter though, an article was just released today, and trust me, this is huge information regarding the development of Boruto right now. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, let's drop that intro real quick.
I don't want that anyway.
On the official Naruto page website, Mamushi Kishimoto and Mikio Ikemoto's interview in France was just published, and so much was said in this interview coming from the great sensei himself, Kishimoto. I won't spend too much time on this article because I really want to talk about chapter 24, so I will link the official interview in my description. So Kishimoto basically confirms that Boruto TBV Vortex is Ikemoto's manga now, and here's the quote. For Boruto, Ikemoto's completely in charge of the story and main illustration. It really is Ikemoto's manga. And this is dope to hear from Kishimoto himself officially say that Boruto TBV Vortex is Ikemoto's manga. And now thinking on it, just look at this shot right here. This is from the recent chapter we're going to dive in right now, chapters 24, where Kawaki basically flips the middle finger at Jura. All I have to say, Sir Ikemoto, this is absolute cinema. I have never seen something like this in shonen manga till this day. So you, Sir Ikemoto, please keep cooking. Now let's dive into chapter 24. We open up with a flashback where Boruto and Kawaki are basically coordinating a plan right before the fight between Kawaki and Jura took place in chapter 23. Boruto even predicted that Jura would join the fight, almost like if Boruto was baiting Jura to join from the beginning. It shows the level of IQ Boruto possesses. He's literally the embodiment of Sasuke Uchiha, his teacher. Boruto then throws one of his chakra markers at Kawaki, explaining to him that we won't be able to defeat Jura, so I need you to buy me some time. And I'm assuming this is for Boruto to heal and calm himself down, because there's a shot where Boruto's holding his karma arm and he says to himself, and I quote, "It's all right, there's no problem, calm yourself." Who is Boruto speaking to? In my theory, this has to be Momoshiki that Boruto is speaking to. Boruto then tells Kawaki, "Once you buy me some time, we can all flee using flying Raijin to the others." Now the fight begins, Kawaki versus Jura. Kawaki goes all in against Jura. He absorbs one of Jura's Biju bombs with his karma. He even lands a powerful strike with his chakra staff, which kind of almost ignited like an explosion if you see in this panel. But Jura isn't just strong, he's practically unfazed. There's a shot where he's generating back with his wood release, which is kind of wild. Kawaki showing that brute force alone won't be enough. Amado is slightly watching the battle from a distance through a computer feed. There's a clear visible concern on his face, as if he's realizing that Kawaki might be out of his depth, and that even this much power still isn't enough to put a dent in Jura. Then we move to a different panel where Jura now is speaking to Kawaki, and he basically says he realizes that Himurari, Sarada, and Kawaki have all grown stronger, not because of training, but because of love. He starts theorizing that love might actually be the most powerful force of them all, stronger than hatred, stronger than chakra itself. Jura begins questioning Kawaki about the nature of the human strength, specifically how emotions like love could be the source of power. Kawaki just brushes it off, not interested in the conversation, but Jura keeps pressing him, treating the fight more like a psychological study than a real threat. Then Jura turns the conversation towards Naruto. He sees through Kawaki's motive, recognizing that Kawaki's not doing this for Boruto's sake, but because he knows that Naruto is still alive. Jura basically puts the pieces all together and expresses his interest in absorbing Naruto himself, believing that doing so might help him unlock the true meaning behind human emotion. And that's the breaking point for Kawaki. The moment Jura even suggests harming Naruto, Kawaki's rage kinda almost takes over. And right then Boruto reappears, letting Kawaki know that the teleportation plan is ready. Now these were Kawaki's last words. Kawaki isn't ready to leave just yet. He stands his ground and fires off a cold warning to Jura. He makes it clear that he doesn't care about emotion or philosophy, but he acknowledges that Jura was right about one thing. everything. Setting his sights on Naruto means crossing a line that can't be undone. Kawaki doesn't just threaten Jura, he declares his own intent to personally end him. Jura, in his usual unsettling way, isn't offended. In fact, he seems to enjoy the honesty. The tension is heavy, but it's clear they both understand something important about each other now. With everything said, Kawaki turns to Boruto and signals that he's ready to leave. As they begin to teleport away, Jura calls out one last time, shouting out Kawaki's name. Telling Kawaki he enjoyed their little conversation and hopes they meet again, Kawaki doesn't answer with any words. Instead, in what might be the most iconic panel in this entire series so far, he flips Jura off. Just a silent, unapologetic middle finger. The most disrespectful way to end a fight you can't win. This might be the most Kawaki thing he could have done. And I have to say this again, Ikemoto, you are cooking, man. Right after that, we cut to the next page, where we see the others, Konohamaru Sensei, Mitsuki, and Delta. And yes, Sarada is still knocked out after using her Mangekyo Sharingan against her fight with Ryu in chapter 21. Assuming Delta knew about the plan that Boruto and Kawaki coordinated in the beginning of the chapter, she tells Konohamaru Sensei to lay down Boruto's hidden leaf chakra marker, and that she was told to lay this down on the ground because if someone is holding it, Boruto would have a hard time sensing it. And I love this detail because again, this just shows how much Boruto has planned ahead of time when he went in saving Konohamaru Sensei. Now there's a funny part where I honestly can't really tell if it's Delta or Mitsuki that wants Konohamaru to step back, because if someone teleports using the flying Raijin, it would be pitiful to see someone stomp you. And then of course, Ikemoto having some fun moments with these art panels. We see Kawaki stomping Konohamaru's face, which again, I love these small details. Kawaki then tells Konohamaru, what the heck are you doing? And Konohamaru with a funny expression responds back to Kawaki and says, that's my line. Boruto then wastes no time, apologizes real quick to Konohamaru. He even goes as far as to say, sorry master, which I'm kind of curious to see what happens now that Konohamaru might have an idea that Boruto is actually his former student and not Kawaki. It then ends the page with Boruto saying we're heading back to Konoha, assuming they're going to probably bring back Moegi with the Thornbolt. Now this might be the beginning to the next arc, and this is just a theory of mine, but I think we might actually see Eida and Daemon versus Mamushi. Next page we have Eida and Koji speaking. Koji casually drops the news on Eida. There's a new threat on the move and it's Mamushi. Koji tells Eida that Mamushi is after you. Eida's reaction is kind of funny. She basically says she's disgusted and creeped out. She even calls it gross. So if the next battle is Mamushi versus Eida, there's a huge chance we might actually see Daemon's true powers. Koji also isn't too happy with the outcome because Boruto might have changed a good future timeline. He tells Eida Boruto made a gamble that was way too dangerous. Even the good futures they had lined up could have been destroyed with one bad move. Then we cut to the final scene and it's back with Jura and Hidari. Hidari notices Jura's weird expression. Jura's smiling. Hidari asks Jura what happened, and then Jura tells Hidari that Kawaki paid him a compliment, which is kind of odd in so many ways, but also shows a lot of character development behind these Senju beings. Hidari then responds back, totally disgusting. And then we get a weird grin expression from Jura, and then that's it, the chapter ends. So far I have to say this chapter was a 9 out of 10. We got a lot of combat action and some nice talk no jutsu from Boruto and Kawaki and even Jura himself. Then let's not forget the iconic shot that I know Boruto fans and even other manga anime fans as well will talk about, and it's that iconic middle finger shot that Kawaki flips Jura with. Again, Ikemoto, please keep cooking. I'm out of here, guys. Take care and peace. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more future content. Drop your comments down below, and if you think the next arc is Mamushi versus Eida and Daemon.
I truly believe that eventually the day will come when all people will understand one another and live in harmony.
Boy, it sounds kind of complicated to me.